Hello, welcome back to Healing Overflow with Dr. Toy. I'm Dr. Toy. Well, you already know because I said welcome back. So good to see y'all again. You see, I have guests. I always collect friends. Y'all know that. And so I have some friends here today. I can't wait to get to them. But before we do that, Healing Overflow with Dr. Toy, social work podcast. You can catch a new episode or you can get caught up on the episodes that you missed. Click right there. You see it? Click right there and watch them all. Watch them. Binge watch. Do what you need to do. Okay? And also we have an Ask a Therapist segment. Click on the Qualtrics link. Leave your question for me. I'm the therapist. I will answer the question. If I answer it on the podcast, you get your little coffee gift card and you need your coffee. All right? So send those questions in. I have a couple questions that I will cover. I will answer. And I will let you know who the winners are of those gift cards. I'll read that at the end, so you got to keep listening and watching until the end. Okay, I know. All right, Dr. Toy, get to it. I know. Who are these people? Here they are. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Our co-producer, Angelica, is behind the camera. Angelica Mendoza, and I am so excited that she brought some of her friends and I brought my friends, and we got together and we are talking about a very important topic, relationships. Mm-hmm. Woo! Right? Okay, let's get at it. So I'm going to introduce, Jessica's going to introduce herself, but listen, Jess and I have been talking for months about this podcast, and we've been talking about another podcast. I don't know, should we do we're going to do a little egg drop, a little Easter egg drop.
I think we should.
Of a future podcast, but we've been talking about this podcast because Jessica invited my husband and I, shout out to Cornell Jones, and we went to this forum. It was a dating forum, relationship forum. It was fantastic, y'all. Usually we're a little private. We don't do stuff like that. But we said, for Jessica, we shall do it. And we went and had a ball, y'all. It was so nice. And so I had an opportunity to see just how much of a relationship expert this girl over here is. And I said, come on the podcast and talk about it. We need some healing overflowing happening in the relationship category. Mm-hmm. And so Jess said, okay, I'll do it. And so she's here. Introduce yourself to the listeners and viewers.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jessica Gurley. I'm a licensed social worker. I'm also a therapist. And so I have my own private practice called Social Work Consulting and Counseling. We really specialize in providing like EAP services, which stands for employee EAP. Employee Assistance Program. Oh my goodness. I'm so nervous today. So we really specialize in helping employees. And so I'm also a professor at Pitt. I teach in the master's program. I teach CBT, human behavior. And so I'm so excited for today. I'm so excited to be here. Like she mentioned that we had it's called Healthy Relationship Conference. And we are actually about to start planning for this year's Healthy Relationship Conference. So I hope that you guys can come. It's open to the public and it's free. It's free and open to the public. And last year we focused on dating. This year we're going to focus on relationships. But anybody who's dating or in a relationship can come because we're going to have speed dating. Yeah, so this is going to be fun. Should I tell them how to reach me just in case they want to come to the conference?
Tell them how to reach you. Absolutely.
Okay. If you guys want to come to the conference, I can send you a link once it becomes live, and you can email me at info@swcchelp.com. Again, info@swcchelp.com. And then my Instagram is tritherapy_SWCC, if that is a better way to reach me.
It's right there below. You don't even have to memorize that. Click on it. Contact her. Well, you're going to want to. Once you start hearing what she has to say today, I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, let's jump right into it.
Okay.
What is a healthy relationship? What's an unhealthy relationship? We need to know both. Like, what is it?
Absolutely. So when I'm talking to my clients, I'm really focusing on like what makes you feel safe, right? So a healthy relationship is going to make you feel safe. It's going to make you feel like I should be here, that this is meant to be, and that it just makes me feel good about myself. The communication is very important in a relationship. So the communication should make you feel like, okay, I know what's going on. Like you shouldn't be confused a lot. You shouldn't not be always in your head trying to figure out what's next. Like there should be some communication there where you like, I know where this is going, I know where it's not going, right? The other things I would say, there's mutual respect. You know, we talk about love, but I honestly think respect is actually bigger than love. Because a lot of people love differently. Like some people think love is actually toxic, right? I've watched podcasts where people are like, oh, if I cheat and they take me back, that's love, right? So you want to make sure somebody has mutual respect for you, right? You want to make sure that they are supporting you and thinking of you in their life, right? When they're making decisions. So in their decision making, they're always trying to include you. Last but not least, you know, fun. You know, this fun and it's feeling those things that you want out of life. You guys are in an alignment, right? You might not like the same things, but you support each other in those same things. So there's fun there. And then, you know, I don't know how much we're going to get into this, but, you know, making sure you guys are attracted to one another and that there's that chemistry there, because I tell people all the time, I don't think people think about it in this way, but that sexual intimacy, that's the only thing you can't get from another person. So you want to make sure that part is really, really important to you and that you both feel that as well. And so that's what I would say a healthy relationship is. And if anything is kind of off or the opposite of that, you might want to look at it and see if that is a healthy relationship for you. It might be a little unhealthy. I will say you won't get everything you want out of every single relationship, but you'll get at least 80, 90 if it's a good, healthy relationship, for sure.
I love that you said trust.
Yes.
And so people, I love them. I love them. Okay. But you still cheated. You know, you can be all in love and still be cheating and be like, I still love you. Like, what does that mean? Well, if you love me, you wouldn't have cheated. No, if you had respect.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have cheated. And that builds that respect, that mutual respect, builds that trust, and then you can relax. You don't have to be looking at their phone all the time. And as soon as they put it down, you're like, who they texting? Who has that to do?
That part too.
Yeah. And you won't cheat on somebody that you deeply respect. Yeah, that was good. I told y'all. What did I tell y'all? Okay, that was good. And so feeling safe, feeling comfortable, having fun. Why does everybody think you got to be so serious in a relationship? Oh, I don't know. In a relationship. I am married. Why do you look so mad?
People will say, I can't even go on trips if I'm in a relationship. I'm like, what?
What
is going on?
You go on a couple trips.
Right.
All kind of fun. Listen, I told these folks, and y'all gonna meet my special guest in a second. And I told them we gotta have you on to talk about relationships and dating. I've been married for 22 years. I'm like, I still date my husband, but nobody else. So I need y'all to talk about what it's like out there. Okay, let's introduce these folks. Introduce yourselves. This is Jackson and Hannah, and I want y'all to just talk about, Jackson, you start. Talk about who you are, why you're a special guest today.
My name is Jackson. I'm friends with Angelica, the co-producer, or the producer.
What's your major?
Pre-PT, yeah.
What is that? Do we know?
Physical therapy.
There you go.
Yeah. I transferred to Pitt just this fall from community college. I played lacrosse growing up. I live in Lancaster.
Lancaster is such a beautiful place. I don't know if anybody ever visits.
It's really nice.
But thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Jackson, we said we need a boy and a girl. Now, you know, we're social workers. We don't really care about gender, sexuality, or any of that kind of stuff. We're like all inclusive all the time. But there's something about perception, and there's something about experiences with boy and a girl. And so we said, well, we're going to go ahead and ask you to come on. So thank you, brave boy, for coming on.
Thank you.
Hannah, who are you?
Hi, I'm Hannah Wisman. I'm a senior architecture student at Pitt. Nice. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm also from Lancaster, so we were just talking about that before this. Yeah.
Get out of here.
I know.
What is the probability? Thank y'all for being here. I really wanted and needed college students to come on and talk about it. I mean, this is the University of Pittsburgh where we're airing. Y'all watch all over the place. I mean, I got friends in Kenya and all over that watch, and all over Pennsylvania, but all over the United States. So thank y'all for watching and listening. But I know that we can't go on talking about relationships and dating without talking to college students. What is it like in those college student dating streets out there? What's going on?
I feel like it really depends on the person, like it depends on what you're looking for. And yeah, I guess it just varies. I don't know. I mean, like for me, I'm just kind of trying to do my own thing. I recently just like ended a 2-year relationship. So I can't say I know all too well, but I mean, I would say like, so I did long distance with my ex-girlfriend. Long distance. But I would say it's tricky to do that for so many reasons, but I feel like the number one is like, there's a lot of things that you can't get and you can't experience like when you're dating someone, just because like you guys were talking about, like having respect for them and not wanting to cross like boundaries or like, so I would say like long distance is tricky, but I can't speak on it besides that. Yeah.
I think that is a really common issue with college students, because you're either dating, like if you're a freshman, you still might have a significant other in high school, and you're in college, they're in high school, or you're both college students and you're dating different colleges, some at the University of Texas, you're back here in Pittsburgh. That would be really hard.
Yeah.
Well,
it's also just hard because like romance is like such a way to experience like life, and like at least for me, like I feel like that's the way that I express myself, and not getting to do that like daily or be with someone, or like you're just missing out on so much of like the best part of life.
Absolutely. You feel the distance.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah.
What's it like for you, Hannah, out in the college dating streets?
So I had a very similar experience where I went to college with my high school boyfriend. We did long distance, so he went to Penn State, I went to Pitt, so kind of medium distance, not too far.
I mean, that was the problem right there, the Penn State Pitt thing.
Yeah. My parents are both Pitt alumni, so they were not happy.
Yeah.
But it's definitely really tricky, kind of living your life on your own and then trying to share it in some aspects. But it's really, really hard as a college student, I think, especially trying to focus on school. And if you're having an issue, where do you balance that out? Like prioritizing school versus working through issues versus spending time with friends. And I think it's a really hard balance to find and figure out. And we ended up breaking up this past summer. So I've kind of been getting back into dating, and I think it's really interesting because it's kind of been my first time doing that in college. And I think social media plays a huge factor. And there's all the terms like talking stage, situationship, humiliationship. It's all these silly things. And I feel like it's really.
You gotta educate us, Hannah. What is this?
I feel like dating isn't really a thing. So if you start talking to someone and getting to know them, that's the talking stage. Okay. And then
I like to use that phrase, like getting to know someone.
Yeah. And then situationship, you're kind of dating.
That's where it's confusing. When there's lack of communication, you don't really know what's going on.
You don't know their intentions.
It's not great.
No,
I mean, there's excitement to it, but it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like dating is kind of when you become boyfriend, girlfriend. At least that's how I kind of see it. So it's very strange.
My parents say the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you see why I had to have y'all on the show?
Yeah.
Now, I remember back in the day, my kids love when I say back in the day, they just start laughing. The 1900s? Mom? No. Yeah. But now, talking is what we said. Yeah, we're talking. I mean, just talking and getting to know each other and stuff like that. There was no dating. It was like we go together and we had to ask each other, that kind of stuff. And that seems like that would be such a nervous stage of ambiguity where you're like, what are we? What are we doing? And I can't really tell. And what would you say if someone is talking and they're in that stage where it's like, what do we do now? How do you know when to take it further? What do you know what to do? To say what? Are there rules?
I feel like the only thing you can do is just when you think the time is right to speak, you just have to. It's definitely not easy, but it's just so important. Just get out what's in your head and get on the same page as someone else. Even if there is a risk of making things awkward or, having things change after that, like establishing a dynamic with someone is like you got to do it at some point.
Yeah, at least you know if you say something.
Yeah.
Is there pressure to date? Like y'all, Billie Eilish, what other little love songs, and you just sitting there crying, and people walking past with holding hands and all coupled and snuggled, and your friends are dating. Is it that kind of pressure? Are you feeling lonely? Like what is it like out there?
I feel like in some ways, being in long distance, there's almost a pressure not to date, like especially from friends and then they might not be the best influences, but a lot of people who say you should live your life first, because I feel like I've gotten that a lot in the past. But I feel like especially now there's a lot of pressure on college students to live your life and enjoy your time in college and then figure that out later. I feel like it's almost,
so don't get tied down.
Yeah.
Almost, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I feel like
I'd
that's
say
something
the
I've noticed.
Okay, interesting. So the generations, there's probably three, right? And having that different perspective is like, I'm tearing it up. I'm tearing it up. Okay, so let's talk about. You already started talking about it, but what are the pros and cons of being coupled? And you already talked about people be free, be out there, have your life and live your life, but what are the pros and cons? There's both positive and negative of being coupled with someone. So what would y'all say?
I would say the pros for dating, at least for in my most recent relationship, it's just it's so fun and it's freeing almost, because you get to just express yourself with someone who's just totally different than you in a lot of ways, but you're just kind of, I don't know, you're living your life with someone. It's exciting, and you get to know everything about them and be close with them, and you have a sense of dependency on one another, and I don't know, it's just fun. I when I talk about my ex-girlfriend, I like to say I feel like she brought color into my life. She just had such a great personality, and she just really knows who she is, and it just makes you a better person if you're with the right person. You grow, and it's
Oh, that's good, Jackson. I hear y'all snapping out there for Jackson. That was good. Yeah. Do you think, okay, let's go back to a relationship expert here. Jess, I'm wondering, do you think that people have different styles of dating? And where, if they do have different styles, where did that come from? Does it always come from the childhood and stuff like that? What do you think? Do people have different patterns of dating, whether it be toxic or positive? All right, come on,
I think they do. I think it's based on your environment. It's based on what you see your parents and how they dated. It's based on what some people see on social media. I think it's also based on how you want to achieve your goals and the pattern in which you want to achieve them. So that's why it's so important to be on the same page and ask people how do you like to date? What is your way of dating? Because everybody don't date the same. I had a guy tell me, he was just because I went on a date with somebody, that don't mean I'm dating them. And I was he wasn't talking to me, but I was just okay, but that's true. I really had to sit back and think about it. It's absolutely true. Just because I went on one date with you, we're not dating. And so it was shocking to hear that dating is basically in a relationship when, we were taught courting, you have to court somebody first, then you basically get in a relationship, right? And so I think it's so important for everybody who is dating to talk about what that dating style looks like.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Who even thinks about that? Are you, hello, my name, okay, what's your dating style? But it's imperative.
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah, and so where do these different styles come from? Is it the way they were raised with their family? Is it how close they are with their parents? Do you think that comes from something? Okay.
Yeah, I definitely think it comes from your parents but if we want to look at the healthy way of doing it, it's usually a talking phase. Like you guys talk about, you're talking, you're getting to know one another. And then after that is you actually go on dates, and you go on multiple dates, and that is dating, right? That's where the word dating comes from. It's not, it doesn't mean you're having sex or anything. You're literally going on dates, enjoying each other, getting to know each other. Then there's courting, and that is exclusive dating. So you're only dating one person for the purpose of a relationship. You're getting rid of all the distractions, all the other people that are involved, so you can date one person and court them into a relationship. Courting is the phase where you decide, am I actually going to be with this person? But there's too much wishy-washy going on, and like they talked about situationship. So situationship is when you do everything but be committed. Like you're going to, you know, plus ones. You're the plus one. You guys are having sex. You're doing everything a relationship consists of, but you're not committed. And so this is where things are getting a little bit of wishy-washy. But if we try to go back to the traditional way, I think it will cause less confusion. I think a lot of more people will be honest and be on the same page about things. But it's I think there's a lot of noise, social media, and just, you know, things of that nature going on.
It's good that y'all are bringing up social media, because there's a lot of pressure that comes from social media. This is what love looks like. And you don't see arguing. You don't see anybody. Everybody's agreeable. You know, everyone's smiling. You wearing matching shirts. You're like, get out of here. That isn't what it is all the time. And my husband and I have been married we're going on 23 years in May. And we don't match. And, you know, and we disagree. And then we get back on the same page. But communicating, okay, I don't like that. Well, what about that? Well, yeah, I like that. Or, you know, even when you're talking about dating, if we're going to move, or courting, or talking, or whatever, if we're going to move to this next level, why aren't we talking about it? What is this situationship about? And I think it's the cake and eat it too phase. It's like, I don't have to be committed. I'm over here jumping around. And that comes from attachment. It comes from, like, I don't have attachment with like a parent, or sibling attachment, because siblings, that's our first relationship. I always tell my class, they're like, ew. I'm like, well, that's how we know how to disagree, how to make up, how to share through sibling relationships. So it's really important to have the conversation. That's great advice. Have the conversation. What is dating like to you? Because we can go 5-6 dates, and in this person's head, we ain't dating.
Right. And I've seen it.
I'm not exclusive. We didn't talk about that.
Well, I want to go back to attachments, because attachments are so important. I think everybody should know what type of attachment they had. So before, I was married for 11 years, just so you guys know. So that's part of my experience as well. But after I got out of that relationship, going through a divorce, I started therapy. And he let me know I had an insecure avoidant attachment. And that was so interesting to me, because I was married for so long, I didn't have to date, so I didn't have to really know all this information about myself. And so you want to know what your attachment style is, because that's how you're going to respond to other people in dating. So when people are double texting you, depending on your attachment style, you're going to be really, really annoyed, or you can be like, oh my gosh, yes, oh my gosh, and then when they don't text you, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, something's wrong, I can't do this. So you really want to know what your attachment style is, because it's not wrong to have like an insecure attachment or avoidant attachment. It's what you do with that information. And once you start to realize, like, it's not the other person, it's you kind of just struggling with attachments from your childhood, because that does come from childhood. That comes from the way that you were attached to your parents, and if they responded to you quickly, if you felt like you were attached to them. So you grow up with this. So it's not your fault. So I don't think you should blame yourself. I think you should really just know what those things is. And so when you start to date, to recognize, like, it might not be the other person, it might be me. So yeah, so definitely know your attachment style, because a lot of people have different attachment. And disorganized attachment is the worst one, right? Because this person actually wants to be close, but they also are avoidant. It's like all three all together. So they're avoidant, they have an insecure attachment, and then they have an anxious attachment. But they also have this deep need to want to be close to somebody. So it's like all that happened, and it could happen within an hour of just, so if you have a disorganized attachment, you really want to know that. So, yes.
When you get the person that's like super clingy.
Right.
And you're like, I don't really like people being that clingy.
Yes.
That is so important to learn. Where can they learn about their attachment styles?
There's different quizzes online. You can definitely do quizzes online, but I like the Psychology Today YouTube videos. Like, they're really cute, and they're only like 2 to 3 minutes, and you can just watch them, and they really do a good job of explaining it. And I know it's hard to find good information these days, but yeah, you can find some good videos.
Love it. So what do you say to a person that's like, I think I'm ready. Okay, I want to get out there. I want to start seeing people, but I'm shy. I don't know how to approach people. I don't know what to say. Like, what do? I need some pickup lines. I don't know what to, I'm standing against the wall. Like, I hope somebody asks me to dance. Like, I don't know what to do. What do I do? Where do I go? Okay, I need my college students to help me on this one. Like, what do you say to that person? It's like, I want to meet people, I want to get out there. I don't know, we're all online. I don't know what to do. Where do I start? And I'm afraid of getting rejected. All right, one of y'all take it.
I feel like it's cheesy, but letting it find you, maybe. Everyone says that, but like, I guess like for me, my experience is I got out of my relationship this summer and I kind of ran away from love and I didn't want it to find me. And then like someone kind of walked into my life who I had known freshman year, and we kind of connected, and we both kind of had a similar experience with like a long distance relationship, and just like slowly it kind of evolved and like became something that I didn't think I wanted. I didn't like think I wanted to feel that way with someone else for a long time, but it just kind of happened.
It's almost like you took the wall down, or hung the flag like available now.
Yeah.
So you're sending off the signals. Yeah, and you're allowing yourself to be attractive. Yeah. Oh, I like that. You're like, all right.
Yeah. And it's scary, but yeah, I don't know. I think it comes in like ways you don't expect, and I know that is like everyone says that like it'll find you. Just be patient, but I think I don't know. It finds you in places you don't think.
Yes, but be willing. That is what I'm hearing from you. Be ready. Be willing. Be available. Be the person that wants to be found. Yeah, nice. What do you think, Jackson? I'm wondering.
So the question was for people that.
So people that are like, I think I'm ready to date. Like, what do I?
But they're nervous.
Yeah, they're nervous, or they're afraid of being rejected.
I don't know. Like, I'm kind of fearless with that stuff.
He said I'm the same. That is me.
Yeah,
Jackson's bold.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I can't say much.
But I think you're saying it.
Just go for it, I mean, just be yourself. Like, that's, I mean, obviously, like, the most common saying ever, but I think it's true. Like, just be who you are, and, like, you'll attract that kind of person, and, I don't know, it'll work,
But you're not saying don't be afraid. You're saying just go for it, which I hear as, like, push past the fear. You're going to be a little timid and afraid. It's like, so what? Do it anyway.
Well, I mean, like, what's the other option, Like, you don't find love, and then you're...
Then what?
Then you're just afraid to, and you don't, I guess.
And you're just lonely.
Yeah.
Now, we're not saying there's anything wrong with being uncoupled.
Yeah.
Because you're hearing from single folks that look real happy, and content. And so that's a good question, though, Jess. Like, how do you, and I happen to know you and observe you, and you're like single, satisfied, happy, out, flip hair, like, how do you get to that point where you're not like, I'm going home alone again? Like, I don't feel those vibes from you ever. So, like, how do you get to that point?
Yeah, so I'm single, dating, and I love it because I can really put myself first. And I'm not saying I'm not open to my person and finding someone, because I am actively dating, but I feel like you can be happily single when you create a community around yourself. Like, I have such a loving community. I'm not without love at all. I can always call somebody to go to dinner. I can always call somebody, male or female, that I can just have, enjoy life with. So it doesn't feel like I'm like detached from that at all. Like, I'm holding hands with my friend. Like, we just like to play that way. And so I would say first, number one, create a community. If you're single and you're feeling extremely lonely, create a community. It's okay. I think that the other thing we skip over is companionship. Companionship means closeness. So having somebody that opposite sex or whatever sex you decide to date, having somebody that is willing to be your plus one, that's just gonna be like, if y'all are both single, like, let's go out to dinner, let's do Valentine's Day together. You might not align on other things, so that's why you guys don't want to date, but you respect each other. And so have fun with that person. The other thing I would say is just always being open to new hobbies and things, like doing things that that come across your path. Like I just started biking last year. Like I never biked. I biked from all the way from downtown to the waterfront. Like, yeah, I love biking now. So like I fulfill my life with so many other things. Like the whole, I need to be coupled is really not a thing for me. And I just think a lot of people are lonely because they lack community, not because they lack a relationship. And I just wrote a status. I don't know if you've seen it. We talk about the male loneliness epidemic, but I would say the solution to the lonely male epidemic is not a relationship, it's community. Community first, because if they get into a relationship, that's going to be their everything and their all, you know what I mean? And so you still are going to feel lonely. You know how many people feel lonely in a relationship? I do relationship counseling. So there's tons of people who feel lonely in a relationship. So a relationship is not your answer. Community is.
That's it. Yeah. Well, that was good. Go ahead.
I have a lot to say about it. Well, because last year at a community college, and I was dating my girlfriend at the time, but all my friends went away for school. Yeah. So like, I understand being lonely in a relationship, and it's not fun. Like, and there really wasn't much of a community for me to engage with. Like, just because again, I was out of high school, I was at a small community college. Like, there's a lot of people I kind of hard to get along with or get to know. But yeah, I will say like, it sort of felt like, for me at least, that my girlfriend at the time was everything in my life, because that was besides school or working or whatever I was doing. Like, she was kind of all I had. I think that's part of the reason why I did end things with her, because now I'm here and I have a community of like people, I'm in a fraternity, I have a lot of friends here, like it's very different. So like I don't, not that I don't feel the need, but like I feel like I can be happy without that, and I think it's been great. Yeah.
Wow. This is good. See, y'all didn't even know y'all were gonna get that much. You got more. It's overflowing. Relationship, that's key. I talked about my husband, Cornell, and I have been married for 22 years. We are each other's best friend. However, I got girlfriends. I got guy friends who are like brothers, and he has friends also. Some friends we came with, and now he done stole my friends. Like, that's just what he does. I was like, oh, you now are going out? Well, can I come? No, not me. What? And that's like a brother, and now that's like a brother to him. And that community always kept me to the point where I didn't feel lonely. And still, after marriage, we still have our community. So he'll go out, hang out with his friends. I'll hang out with mine. Sometimes we're all together, sometimes we're not, and we all feel fulfilled. There's no hanging on to his ankle. Where you going? What time you about to be back? Like, who got time for that? Go out, have fun, enjoy yourself. Tell me about it when you get back. That makes you a better partner when you have a community and you come into a relationship and that person's not your all in all and everything. And if y'all ever watched that old cartoon, I think it was Bugs Bunny and Friends, with Pepe Le Pew and the little cat, and he kept hanging on to the cat all the time and kissing her, and she's like, get away from me. And you don't want that in a relationship where someone feels smothered.
Can I add to that?
Add to it.
Also, in dating, you're going to meet people that you're not in alignment with. We have to stop throwing people away because they don't serve our purpose, right? And so if you go on one date and that person's not for you, it's okay to be friends. It's okay to make that person a part of your community. This is why respect is so important. And not to say the guys that I'm surrounded by, I've all dated, but there's a few that I went on one date or we had one phone conversation. I was like, ooh, we ain't on the same page, but you're cool. And I would love to hang with you. I would love to do business with you. And this one guy, we been doing business ever since. We have nothing between us, never have. He's a great person, and I'm so glad he's in my life. And I feel like especially this generation is like, oh, you're checked, you're gone, throw you in the trash. But keep some of those people around. If you find good people, keep them around.
Now now you done opened up a whole bunch of other questions. See, this is why I wanted y'all here. What are the red flags where they should be put in the trash can?
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
Absolutely.
Because I feel like some of us, I ain't gonna say y'all, but I'm just saying, that, we we're like, I see these red flags, but I'm just going to keep on mushing through, and there's mud all over my boots, and I'm just going to keep on going through the mud. Like, what are some red flags that we should absolutely abort mission right now, get on out of there, close the door. I hope you have a nice life over there.
I love this question. And
y'all chime in too.
Yeah, please. After I can give, because I can only give from my perspective. And like you said, there's different generations here, and I love this. Yeah, so I would say any type of abuse, and that's mental, physical, psychological. If this person is like even intimidating you, backward hands, backward compliments, like, you look better in that color. Like, you want to, if they start off like that, you want to go. You want to go. Disrespectful communication or lack of communication, and they're not, and you, when you confront them about it, if they can handle that conflict at all, let it go. Because the biggest thing that people can't handle in a relationship is conflict. And so a green flag is if they can handle conflict, or if they can handle you rejecting them or saying no, green flag. Other red flags, and I will say red flags don't mean run. I know that sounds crazy. Because a lot of people have anxious and avoidant attachments, they think every little thing means run. It means have a better conversation, have a more in-depth conversation, because what you believe may not be happening. I'll give you guys a perfect example. A girl once went on a date with a guy who kept putting his phone on face down, and she was like, he's trying to hide something. And I was like, no, have a conversation with him. And she was like, all my ex-boyfriends did that, and I was like, ask them. He was like, no, I'm trying to give you my undivided attention.
It meant something
right? But in all her past relationships, that was a sign, right? Wow. So red flags don't mean run, because we all have relationship trauma. We all have insecurities. So it just means have a deeper conversation. But if that conversation is good and they are giving you feedback, green flag for sure. Other red flags, I would say, like anything that this person don't have that's in alignment with your values, right? If you value something, this person 100% don't value it, then you guys aren't going to be in alignment. It's time to move on. I wouldn't say cheating history is always an indicator, but if they can explain why and how they have moved past doing that, then I would say that is a red flag. Okay. And definitely pay attention to that for sure.
Yeah, a cycle, and there's no interruption of the
right,
cycle.
Especially no interruption.
You're still a cheater.
Right,
I'm gonna let you go on along the way.
Absolutely,
That's good. Anything to add, y'all?
Yeah, please.
That was good.
Yeah, I would just say, like, for me, I kind of just like, it's like, if you know, like, if there's something about a person that's bothering you or multiple things, like, I agree. I don't think it's best. I think everything should be talked through. But yeah, I can't say like there's identifiable red flags for me personally, but I kind of just know.
It's that gut feeling.
Yeah, well, it's also like, like certain things just like cross boundaries or like don't meet your expectations or stuff like that, and
yeah, you don't keep letting it go. That's a really important point. That gut feeling is put in us for a reason. If we're like, that's just not sitting right with me.
Yeah.
And there's a pattern of it. It's time to maybe move into the friendship or move on out of my life. Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Anna?
I would just kind of agree with that. Like, I don't think I've really encountered any big red flags, like at least early on in dating, but I feel like there are little things that kind of bug you or like don't sit right, and then over time they kind of build up and you're like, maybe this isn't kind of the best situation.
Maybe this isn't it.
Yeah, no, I feel like too, it's just important not be in denial about things. Yeah, I feel like that's so common, is like just making excuses for a person or like justifying everything in your head or just blatantly ignoring things. Like being honest with yourself and how you feel is really important.
That's good.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah.
Not being in denial that and thinking that you're going to be this person's exception. So a lot of people will hear from exes and stories about people and be like, well, different people are different with different people, and don't think you're the exception because you're so beautiful. Nobody's so beautiful. Nobody's so, nobody's so great that you're going to change this. Patterns matter. And if they treated the last 3 people like this, that fairy tale, situation does not happen, often. And so some people are really in denial. They think they're so great that they can change somebody, they can heal somebody, and you can't. You absolutely can't. And I wouldn't even try to take the chance. I wouldn't.
No. You hear them gold nuggets falling all over the floor, get your buckets. That was some gold nuggets right there. Yeah, I mean, you're a therapist talking about, I ain't gonna change them, that ain't what's gonna happen.
They be like, can you be my therapist? I'm like, no, I will give you the number to call. I will not. Right, I said, you got 175 hours?
Did you have something else, Jackson?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, I think, sort of off topic, but I think something that's like super important to look for when you're dating is looking for someone that you want to be better for. Like, that was the main thing with my ex-girlfriend, was that, like, she was just, like, honestly perfect. Like, I can't really describe her any other way. But I feel like that was the biggest thing, was, like, I wasn't really where I wanted to be in life. And, like, just, like, she was just someone that I was just, like, I just wanted to change for. I wanted to be better for, so I would feel, like, you know, like, worthy of, like, being with her and, like, better as a person. So I think like just looking for someone that like makes you want to be better.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. I know with my relationship, each other, it's like we help level each other up in all kind of situations, career, personality, communication, the whole everything. And people will even comment and be like, y'all always champion each other, or you're always going on like, rah, rah, that's my wife, or woo, woo, my husband did that. I was like, it's genuine.
Yes.
It's behind the scenes, like, you better do it. Who can do it? You can do it. Like, you know, pump each other up, get each other out there. And we're each other's cheerleaders. We always got each other's back. There's no competition. I think that's just weird.
Yeah.
In a relationship where we're like, I'm better, and I'm up here. And it's like, nah. We want each other to win, because when he wins, I win.
Yeah.
That's how we approach arguing too. So any kind of conflict, like I'm competitive. I love a challenge. I'll sit there and debate. I should have been on a debate team in high school. Like, I love it. Like, what you got? Let's win, you know? And I noticed that if I'm arguing to that point, because my husband is very meek, he's very strong. He'll stay silent, and when he speaks, it's like, whew, like a cobra. You're like, that was some knowledge, you know? And I'm like, blah, 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 you know? So we level each other out really well. But one thing I noticed that in arguing, he's like, he's not competitive in arguing with his wife. Like that to him was like, what are we doing here? Right. And I'm like, ready to win. What you about to say? Like, and that was early on. And I learned that if he loses, I'm losing. We're on the same team, and it clicked. I'm glad it clicked early on, because then we would have been arguing forever, you know. It clicked that if I'm arguing him down, then I'm arguing me down. Like, this is, we're together, we're partners. And so lay back, listen, learn how to listen instead of listen for a rebuttal, but really learn, like, hear him. What is he saying? Oh, he felt like that. What is that perspective? Let me think about this from what he's saying. Oh, I understand what you're saying now. We don't have to agree all the time, but I do need to understand where you're coming from in order for us to continue to collaborate. We're literally partnered up. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit. But what I want to talk about in a relationship is like when it's time to move on. And what I notice with a lot of relationships, they drag on. It's like dead weight. And, you know, y'all should have been done broke up. Y'all still together. Really? Oh. You know, you see those kind of relationships. You don't want to be better for the person. They're literally dragging you down. They don't want to help you, you know, reach your fullest potential and get better. Like, how do you know when it's time to just cut the loss and uncouple? And give some advice to folks that are like, I'm in this relationship and it's sucking the life out of them, or whatever it may be. And like, how do you uncouple without it being like a disaster, or, you know, like what? Give some advice. One of y'all.
So I guess my situation that I was in, it was 3 years long, and I guess going into freshman year, we were separated and we had some issues, but we were like best friends. We cared about each other so much, and honestly, like, we had a lot of issues and we really should have ended things, but I think we cared about each other so much, not even as partners, but like as best friends, that we fought so hard to keep it going. So we visited all the time and we were always talking, and we got through it, but then it was like every year it just kind of was dragging us down, taking so much energy. But again, we cared about each other so much, like we couldn't even imagine what it would be like without the other person. And I think deep down we both kind of always knew, like, it should have ended then, it should have ended, like, I don't know, it's just bringing both of us down. It's not helping us. We're just so attached and care about each other so much that that's the only reason why we're still here, even though it's not really working.
Yeah,
and
that's so hard.
I know.
Yeah, that's
and
hard.
It was something we both, like, we talked about throughout the 3 years, and I think eventually over the summer, things eventually got to the point where, like, I had to end it. And it was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do, like losing my best friend and trying to imagine a world without him when it had been like that for so long. And I mean, it was so hard, but in a way it was like almost so like peaceful in a way, because I feel like in my heart I always kind of knew it wasn't going to work out and we needed to be apart to kind of reach our full potential. So I think in a way it was kind of like my mind was finally at rest. So I think, I mean, when you really care about someone that much, it's really hard to be willing to give that up. And you can say like, oh, you'll put 100% in, and we did for so long. But I think you just kind of know, and you just kind of have to trust yourself and trust your heart that like you guys are both better off that way. And even though it's going to be really hard for a long time, you're going to come out on the other side of it, and it will be okay.
That's great. That's really good advice. Just knowing and having that peace after you let it go, and you're like, we're going to be better because of it. The hurt and the pain lasts for a season, and then it's going to start to get better. Then you'll start being like the little meerkat sticking your head up like, I think I'm ready to date now.
Yeah.
You're going to feel it. You're going to know it.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Anybody else want to add to it?
I would just say if there's, again, any level of abuse, they say, you know, it takes two, but honestly, it only takes one to break up a relationship. And if this person's not fighting with you and you're the only one fighting, I would say that might be, you know, time to give it up for sure, because we should not be, I think a lot of people have normalized like having to go to therapy and being depressed and get on anxiety medications because of relationship. That's not normal. You know, our relationship issues should be actually coming from the world. Like he lost his job, she lost her job, or, you know, the kids are acting up. Like those are real relationship issues, right? But if your relationship issue is coming from your partner, that's an issue. And I understand, you know, sometimes we all act up, like we're all humans, we do stuff wrong. But if it's going on for years, that's a new pattern. And that might be the new person. We change like every 7 to 10 years, right? And so you want to make sure that you're healthy, you're the most important person in your life, and that you're taking care of yourself, and that this person, even if there's something going on, that he or she still feel like a teammate, right? They still feel like they're on your team. There could be, the world can be going wrong, but we are still a team, right? And that's us against the issue, not the issue against both, you know, us against each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's really good. It's to that point where you know I'm miserable. It's not making me feel this way. We're not growing. We're clashing. I'm physically feeling ill. Like your physical body will tell you it's time to give this up. You know, gaslighting is like the major theme in your relationship. My body is tense. My stomach is turning. I don't really, like when I see them calling, I'm like, you know, are you feeling, and that's a constant theme. It's toxic. To me, a no-go is like abuse on any level, like absolutely not. Shout out to Women's Center and Shelter. I'm on their board, and I love all the education that we put forth about this. And Jess mentioned that it's not just the physical abuse, but it goes on and on. It's that those mind tricks. What did you just do and say to me? You know, and the lying, the constant lying. But I'm in the car and I see her name popping up on the screen. I told you not to talk to her. Like, what is going on? You know, that constant disrespect. We talked about that at the top of the hour. Just let it go. And we have fear that we can't find anything better, or I don't want to start over again and become somebody else's best friend. And you deserve that. And let them go ahead and get what they deserve. You know, go on. Really good stuff coming from here. We have time to answer a couple Ask a Therapist questions, and I'm like, we got them here. So I pulled these questions out. I love that they are asking. So anyway, let's go. Okay, y'all ready? Okay. So, does he like me? Is the is the title. I have this guy. We come in contact quite a bit here and there. He flirts, and I flirt back. But it doesn't move past that point. Okay, they're starting to develop feelings. I like him, and it seems like he might like me too, but I'm not sure. I can't tell. What do I do to take it to the next level? What do I do? Okay, we hear you. We're going to help you. We're going to help answer you. TGIF 53, we got you. Okay, what do we think?
I would say just apply more pressure, like, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, really, just like, I don't know, be more bold, maybe make like a more like, ask him to do something that like, kind of signifies like what you want. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to like, get that out of someone, like really tell, especially now. And I don't know the age of that person, but I don't know. I feel like just make your intentions clear, like be kind of clear with how you're feeling and like where you want things to go, and then if they reciprocate, then you know.
You got to be bold.
Yeah.
Can't be fearful. Okay. Anything else?
Is this on social media, or they didn't indicate where?
This is in the Qualtrics link.
Okay.
So it's anonymous, but they left their information so they can get their coffee gift card. You got it coming to you.
So I have a different perspective. I do agree, be direct and say, hey, what's your intention? That's my favorite question. Like, what is your intention? Or, you know, I like you. I like flirting with you. Is this is the furthest you want it to go? And being direct. Because I will say, I do therapy with men and women. A lot of them just like to flirt. They don't have any intention. And I have many of guys say that I like to sell a dream in my inbox. They literally have said this. Multiple guys, like they feel like it's fun. And I think women do it too. I've done therapy with many women who's just like, once they ask me on a date, I don't want to do it because I just like flirting. Like it's so I really yeah, exactly. So I don't see nothing wrong with a flirt session, but don't get attached to romanticizing what that can be, right? Stay in your reality. The reality is this person's only sending you messages back and forth, and you need to focus on just that. And if it doesn't go anywhere else, then, you know, and you just like the flirting, just continue to flirt. But I would be direct if you want something more, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we romanticize a little bit too much. That's another, issue.
It's the whole Bridgerton series. You're like, stop it. It really isn't that.
Right. Yeah, it isn't. Yeah.
Are you calling for me? They're like, no.
Yeah. I tell people to use their 5 senses if you have an issue with romanticizing. If you didn't see it, taste it, smell it, hear it directly, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. That's how you reality test yourself.
What I would say is sometimes people flirt and they got somebody
exactly
else. And so it doesn't move past a certain point because they already are coupled with someone.
You know, I just recently seen a statistic that said 40% of people on dating apps are married or in a relationship. I was like, I didn't know. How did they even find this out? And it was like a poll they took, and I'm like, wow. Yeah.
So move with caution. If they're not moving past a certain point, they might not want to because they're out there flirting and they're coupled. But being, like we're flirting, we're having fun. What's up? Like what we doing here? Are we doing anything? Can really shut that down if they have somebody on the other side. I know when I was dating, I would unfortunately have a lot of married men talking to me, and I would be like, ain't you married? Like, or what happened in here? Why are we flirting?
Right.
Like, I don't want to flirt with a married man. So, but there are a lot of people that cross those lines and they have extramarital affairs and relationships, and you don't want to be stuck in that, the sad chick or the sad dude. We're not doing it.
And what did we say at the beginning? They're lonely.
They're lonely.
In a relationship.
Yeah.
They're
and
lonely.
Try to seek more. And I know that wasn't for me. That was just not. I'm not that person. So I wanted to make it clear. Nope. Move along. So I'll go ahead and make it clear. Yeah. Okay. Your gift card's coming to you. That I hope that helped. We got one more, y'all. Y'all got time for one more? Okay, we're gonna do one more. Okay, we broke up a few months ago, but they still want to be friends. They're texting me, and I kind of like the attention, but I know we're not gonna get back together. Can we still be friends, or should we still be friends? Is what Rodeo 19 said. Can we still be friends?
I am a big believer that no, you can't just be friends. I think even if you can be friendly, maybe after a few years, I really think like once you connect with someone on that level, I don't think there's any like way to go back. I think there's always going to be a part of you that loves that person and cares for them so much. And I think, especially if you're trying to heal and it's only a few months after, I think it's just such a tricky situation. And I think at the end of the day, there's always going to be something there.
You said no. And that's hard because the situation that you explained, you were best friends.
Yeah.
So you want to stay friends. Okay. What do y'all think? Anybody else? Can you still be friends?
That's true. Like, I sort of agree with Hannah. I don't know. I mean, I'm still in contact with my ex. Like, we do text. Like, today's her birthday, so I said happy birthday. And like, I would say it's like weird. Like, we sort of text often, but like, I'm still in love with her, so I don't know. But
she's an Aquarius, so I see why. My birthday's next week.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the level that you reach with that person as well. Like, if you were really in love with them, maybe time. I don't know. Give it time, I guess.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to keep falling back into the same habits, and just thinking back to my teenage years, I'm like, I've been married so long, that it's like it was hard. You were friends, and then you're like, wait, are we back together again? I can't figure this out. Like, wait, you're dating. Hold on, I thought we was back together again. And then it was always this gray area, and it's back and forth, and that's exhausting.
It is.
And then when someone finally just wants to be with somebody else, you're like, broken, but we're not together anymore. So can we still be friends? That's really hard. I would go with, I don't think you can unless you're looking to get back together. Maybe you wanted to be friends and get a little time apart, get to know each other in another light, and then come back together. It's always leading to getting back together to me. But, I don't know. I'm curious about what Jess got to say down there.
I would say if you don't have a healthy attachment, don't do it. And if you are going to be friends, you have to define the relationship. What does that look like? What is going to be the boundaries? The last guy that I dated for a couple months, I could not be friends with him, and I refused to be friends with him because he crossed all types of boundaries and crossed boundaries in relationships. And we talked about being friends, but he can't, stay within those boundaries. So. I do believe you can be friends with an ex. Like I said, my ex-husband were really good friends and associates. And I think even if we didn't have children, we still would be that way. Like, I feel like I still call him and things like that. And like I said, I don't believe in throwing people away, but you got to check yourself and make sure you're living in a reality and that you guys define the relationship if you're going to remain friends. I would say, like Hannah said, get some time in between that. Please get some time, because it took me and my ex-husband a minute to really get to this space, and I would say 2 years, And so I would say definitely put some distance between y'all before y'all even attempt to do that. But I think it's possible, and it can be respected if you guys are two good, mature people, for sure.
I think the distance helps all those feelings.
Yes, it does.
To go away. Because you can't be friends with somebody where you're like, oh my goodness, they look so good.
Right.
Oh God, I love the way they just said that. Oh God. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, but if there's no feelings there, then you could be friends, you could be objective, you could talk about them dating someone else, and it really feels like a really good friendship. So I hope that helped. Your coffee gift card is coming to you. Thank you so much for writing in. Hey, listen, this has been a wonderful time with my new friends and the old friend. We've had such a good time. I hope you learned a lot. I hope there was a lot of healing and education that came from what we had to say. Those questions that you heard were from the Ask a Therapist segment Healing Overflow, ask a therapist. And so you can write in, click on that Qualtrics link right below. It's anonymous, but if you want that coffee gift card, you got to tell me who you are so I can send it to you. Give me your email, and I'll send it right out to you. Thank y'all so much for listening and watching. Thank you to my guests. Oh my goodness. Y'all were amazing, more and above, and I had high expectations. Y'all exploded through the roof. So thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you, Angelica. You are our co-producer, and you did a mighty good job. So thank you so much for co-producing. I really had a good time. I always have a good time with y'all family. So I hope you come on back. Again, Healing Overflow with Dr. Toy. It's our social work podcast here at the University of Pittsburgh, but you can see and hear us everywhere. Click on down in there. Just keep on clicking because there's lots of things for you to find. Look at our new and old episodes and learn, and most importantly, heal so that the healing overflows onto everyone around you. Thank y'all. Bye.